Umtriang ba kajila konar kisang mal penti bapo ing do thawai mata kasngi bala pelut sau phunru point po akru tangka Hynrei san stem balai nam taban pen kheim biang ya kiwa do ya kajela haba juba holo ke jingkli wan ra Amerika marok neng ba having stone kharpran umtriang ba ong ba ya kani ke project apen trika mutnat penroi nang kendong ulong ba naki nyopu hajatli kiwa do Samson hajatli la project da gitia ke juk start menta ban pengor yakini ban yada na ke jingsya penjon Ulang ru bah nyau spak nai pa atli wa do ki barang jandangat no nakani bat ketrat soi an conservation glasimi kan ti kuno ban khanglat kanang bakin kheim ban khilung biang ha ju ko por ya thu ba ka project roadway na ulum shilong shathan semaran laban kan om kta ai ka ba kitalong ba dana ka te ulum nama ba kasuka ka de examine bat fikir ba halo kan ik benta Haju kapor ya thu do baga jila Meghalaya ka ayu pediang slap kembahan reply million cubic hakasis nem bat nakani lai phu million cubic ka Tuid no sa Bangladesh bat lai bat kumbalai phu million cubic ai ka Tuid sa Assam bat kani kalong namar ba jila kampat don kilat kenti ba biang ban penek bat ban bat yaki bat kini ki ka Tuid no skwe ki jila
been rejuvenated at a cost of 46.62 crores. So this is a opportunity for me to also share with the House that in the state as a whole, we have approximately 70,000 springs in different parts, and that's the ones that we have identified till now. There could be much more. And out of the 70,000 plus springs that we have, 55,000 have actually been mapped through satellite or LIDAR or using drone technology. And monitoring of these different spring sheds are taking place as we speak. In fact, if any citizen also wishes to see the different spring sheds, they can always go online in the portal called Meghalaya-cm-board.in. So I'll repeat, Meghalaya-cm-board.in. And under this, sir, the different activities of the different spring sheds, what activities are taking place, how much water is there, what kind of pH level, so on and so forth, the information is there. So why I'm mentioning this to you, sir, is that the exercise for this is a very large exercise. And apart from what we're doing under the MGNREGA, we also have schemes that we are working through MBMA under the ADB, where we have different projects again that we have mapped and we are rejuvenating. So therefore this process is ongoing, sir. The projects that we implemented under the MGNREGS, which I have mentioned in my reply of 1601, these are all success stories in their, in itself. We did the study of these 55,000 springs out of the 70,000. And we'll be doing the rest of the 15,000 soon, because these are very, very interior locations, very difficult to reach. But out of the 55,000 springs that we had, after we did the study, we realized that 792 of them are actually in a very, very severe critical phase. And these are the springs that provide water for the Jal Jeevan mission. And it is because of this study that we have done through the MBMA, and we have been able to use technology to map these particular springs, 55,000 of them. We realized that 792 were actually very, very critical and drying up. And based on this information, the Soil Conservation Department has now come up with a 32 crore project for 67 as of now, sir. So out of the 792, 67 of these springs are going to be rejuvenated in a very, very kind of war-footing manner. And we will ensure that we are able to bring back life to these springs, sir. So what I'm trying to express to you is that there is no one right answer to this. It's a very complicated process. It requires, as I said, multiple stakeholders to work together. But as I said, it's a continuous process, and the government is on the job to ensure that all of these issues are continuously resolved as and when they come up, sir. 792 springs which PHE informed us were in critical condition and there would be no water supply in the next 2 years from these springs, in spite of the fact that 4 years, 5 years back when they mapped it, there was enough water. But now after 5 years, because of the climate change and the change in the weather patterns and rain patterns, these 792 springs actually dried up, are in the process of completely drying up. And Soil Conservation Department, just last year, in fact, they informed us that they had just recently completed creation or rejuvenation of springs, close to about 1,000 of them. And when we tried to see whether these 792 were in there, we realized that only 15 were in there. Meaning, sir, that if there had been a holistic approach where PHE department and soil conservation had spoken to each other 5 years back, maybe we would have been able to utilize that money in a similar manner to be able to rejuvenate these springs. So, sir, to reply to the question of the honorable member, that this actually is a very critical part. For the first time, government of Meghalaya has, or is one of the few states in the country that has a water policy. Based on this water policy that we have created, there is a mandate for different departments to work together, to talk to each other. Based on that, a climate council has been created where we actually speak to each other and share the different problems that are there. And the money that is spent by different departments is ensured that it is done in a very, very optimal point of view so that we don't duplicate work. So maybe at the same time, we may have two departments, creating spring sheds in the same location. So we may have PHE also saying, let's create a reservoir, and we might have soil conservation also creating the reservoir just because they were not speaking to each other. So, therefore, the question as well as the suggestion given by the honorable member is actually of great, great importance, because now, as I said, we are working on this, and we have now, multiple projects with PHE department, CNRD department, soil conservation department, water resource department, forest department. So if you were actually going to combine the resources of all of these, you would find that more than 4,000 crores, sir, I will not have the exact number with me, but I can safely tell you that more than 4,000 crores worth of projects today are water-related projects that are going on in the state. And because we did not have a combined strategy for climate adaptation in the past, we were actually working in silos, and which was not having the kind of impact which it could have if we had only spoken to each other. But that has now been rectified. We are very closely working, and we are actually seeing results of this. And today, as I said, because of the mapping that has been done by the MBMA, the Soil Conservation Department and PHE Department, in a matter of seconds, can come to know where the critical springs are, and decisions can be made in the right manner, and money can be spent in a very, very effective manner. So to conclude this particular question, I also want to share with honorable member that recently we had gone to Upper Shillong to see the water supply. That was last year, about 8 months back. And so there was a critical problem in Shillong, this particular question, but I think keeping in mind the importance of the question, we have to address it, sir. So just to give an idea to the House and also to the population at large, the citizens of our state, so we receive almost 63 billion cubic square of water, of rain every year, 63 billion. And out of the 63 billion square cubic meters of water that we received, we lose, or I should say the water, because we're in hills, sir, so the water flows down, sir. So about close to 30 billion flows down towards Bangladesh, 30 billion flows down, plus minus flows down towards Assam. So my point being that there's never shortage of water. So issue of supply and shortage of water is not the real concern, sir. There are 2-3 concerns that we have. So number one is the overall, you can say, the storage of the water and slowing the flow of the water, and overall managing the water and the source is one issue that we face, sir. The second issue that we face, sir, is the actual aspect of distribution that we have. And therefore, if you look at these two problems in one go, it's a very large scale problem, sir. And hence, for us to be resolving this in a matter of, year, 2 years, or just 5 years, is not practically, sir, possible. Though it is desirable, sir, and a lot of work has gone into it, but it's not possible for us to now look at the rain that we receive, the amount of money that is being spent towards water-related, so I didn't say water conservation, but water-related activities and projects. And I explain that, sir, because I think it's important to explain. So water-related activities and the actual water being supplied through the pipe to the last person and to the individuals at their homes in our state, in rural areas or in urban areas. So we have to look at these problems in its own level, sir. So we cannot just simply look at, we get 63 billion cubic meters of water and say that then why isn't it enough for our the households? We can look at the 4,000 crores of water-related projects that we're doing and saying still there are individuals that don't receive water, sir. So this has to be seen in the overall larger context of things, sir. And as I said, in the small, I guess, question that we had, I have been trying to address and hint at some of the issues. So just to give an example to the honorable member, so when we started off in the beginning, so we at about 2018, which is the MDA government, so we had about 4,000 plus minus pipe connections in our state. And through the Jal Jeevan mission, we have been able to touch almost 5,80,000 now, sir. Now, if we didn't have these pipe connections, sir, we would not be able to give the water at the grassroots level. Now, even after implementing these projects, I agree, sir, there are certain projects where because of the source or because of the size of the population, which was not in line with the 2011 census, and hence more houses are there compared to what the census had. For critical, and problems like these, we are not able to, at the end of this day, see 100% of the impact of Jal Jeevan. But if you look at the larger impact, sir, Jal Jeevan has had a massive impact. So what I'm trying to tell you, through you, sir, to the House and to the honorable member, is that there is no one solution to this. It's a very big problem. One cannot just simply, as I said, say that there is 63 billion cubic meters of water, and so therefore everybody should get water in the houses. They should get, sir. I'm absolutely agreeable. But the process of going through that is huge.
Mr. Speaker,
there are a lot of problems.
Mr. Speaker,
Sir, I'm still replying.